punk as politicians.
Fireside Chats, Lord Bishop in the house like we do, and we back for another one, man. And this episode will be we will cover a few things. We will cover the Cuban thing. We're gonna go dry. I'm gonna compare voting laws to gun laws, kind of. Y'all gonna see how I'm gonna do it. We're gonna touch on that. We're gonna touch on a little bit of crazy that has been coming out lately, and we're gonna do a lot about the Missinfo thing. You know what I'm saying? Joe Biden come out. That's probably gonna be our biggest thing, talking about the misinformation and everything, Facebook, all of that stuff, free speech, all of that. And then we're gonna have the CRT portion of the show. So that's the rundown of what we're gonna do. And let's kind of just get into it, right? So the first thing is that Cuban situation, which is a weird thing going down, bro. Like, and what's weird about it is how the Democrats are kind of against those immigrants, because the Democrats seem to be for every other kind of immigrant that you could think of. If you look on the southern border, you know, it's kind of their thing. You know what I'm saying? When it was Trump, it was kids in cages. You know, you got to protect the immigrants. And now that it's them, the situation is worse, but it's no longer kids in cages. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I don't even know where they're keeping all those people, because it's like, you know, almost 10 times worse than it was. I don't say 10 times. That's a lot. It's very, very much worse than it is. And I think it's maybe worse than we've ever seen it. You know what I'm saying? But apparently it's not an issue for them. It's all good. But then when you look at the Cubans in Florida, just those, you know, whatever few they would be, you know, it's like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? You know, how can that be a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not have, you know, all of this COVID, and COVID is your thing? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you got no problems with none of that southern stuff. You know what I'm saying? Have y'all seen the pictures, bro? Probably not, because they're not broadcasting them a lot, but bruh, like there was this one, there's like a part in the wall or a gate, this big gate. All they show is this big gate that they like roll open, and they like let some families in, and everybody's trying to squeeze. Thousands of people they trying to squeeze through. They gotta push them back. Crazy yucky stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I don't know what you can say about the Democrat, you know, how they're acting towards that Cuban thing, you know, because you know, it's you know, all of this immigrants thing, like the way that you can be an immigrant and come to America like that, you got to be seeking asylum or whatever, you know. And so all the people, you know, there's like this weird you know, like non-specific asylum that everybody's always seeking from the, you know, you can't even describe it, and Kamala has to go see, you know, take a trip to Guatemala and see what all of that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if she's going to Cuba to see, you know, what could be that's, you know, driving those people, you know, like, is there oppression? Do you even care if there's oppression? You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, to keep it real, I would think that maybe a lot of the people on the southern border might be facing a lot more oppression than maybe the people in Cuba, because I don't know if I even look at the people in Cuba as being kind of oppressed. I mean, brother, that's just their, you know, that's their way of being. Like, it's just interesting, like, you know, because it's communism, you know, like, okay, you know, you can consider, I guess, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, you're going to decide on if that's oppression. But at the same time, you got places like, isn't Venezuela or some of them other ones kind of, if they're not communist, they're kind of socialist leaning, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just a weird thing. It's kind of like laced with hypocrisy and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And it was just funny to me, like Biden and them don't want no part of that Cuba, you know what I'm saying? But they down with all the rest, you know what I'm saying? I was thinking how I feel like the Cubans should circle back from, like, don't try and just go straight to Florida, dog. Circle back through Mexico, you know what I'm saying? Kind of matriculate your way through to the southern border. Wham, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need to do, dog. You know, float that car to Cancun and go that way. You know, it's just weird how it's, you know, Democrats just showing their ass, bro. Like, the way it's like this hypocrisy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not only how it's like Trump was kids in cages, they doing the same thing, but it's worse and it's not kids in cages. Also, how all those immigrants from on the southern border are cool, but the one in coming from Cuba is not cool. It's like, how, don't they know how that looks and how that plays? It's crazy how they do that, how their constituents don't have no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Just a weird situation that I thought I would just kind of open up with, because and I will say this, like, I like to keep it fair, and I pretty much like to both sides it, since I'm on neither sides, you know what I'm saying? And I know the Republicans probably think, like, yeah, agree with what all of that stuff I just said, and I kind of made like the Democrats out to be the hypocrites. That's a both sides thing, you know what I'm saying? Because just like they, it's the exact same opposite with you Republicans. Like, one of y'all biggest issues is the southern border. Like, y'all got a problem. Y'all want nothing to do with none of that. Build a wall. Don't let them in. All of this. We got COVID. You know what I'm saying? And then you got these people from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they're escaping oppression. Let them in. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't play that. It's the same thing. And I don't even know what else to say or what else to, what do I think we should do? I don't know, bro. Like, it's almost like right now, bro, I'm not really big on letting these people in. You know what I'm saying? And I will say this, like, just like a lot of these other things that's going around, like the defund the police and a lot of those things that the Democrats are making U-turns on the economy. So many things are going bad for them. I feel like electorally, I'm like if you look at the polls, a lot of these things, the people ain't down with, you know what I'm saying? And I just think you got to factor this in as well, bro. Like, this was one of the stronger things that Trump actually had, bro, was like immigration. Like, immigration is what delivered him over Hillary, I think. And, I think he had the advantage over Biden as well, but like, I don't think the American people are down with all of these people trying to come in, especially with COVID. Like, I don't understand that as well. Like, Biden and them are so about the COVID, so about the, you know what I'm saying? They're about to put the mask back on, but yet they still just letting all the people, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, bro. It's just crazy. I don't, like I said, bro, I don't know if they're going to send Kamala to Cuba to find the root causes of that and stop that from where it, you know what I'm saying? Stop it at the roots. I don't know, bro. Crazy situation right there, But that's all I got. Intro, something, a little something. Another thing that I kind of wanted to do was compare voting laws to gun laws, because I kind of did that a little bit in the last podcast. I think a little TikTok I'm going to have coming out is kind of speaking to that, but it kind of like, I like the way that I did that, and I've done it in the past, and I said how I thought that, they always like to say that the left likes to say that getting guns is now easier than voting because it's Jim Crow 2.0, guns are everywhere and all of this. And so I said, you know what I'm saying? But like, let's break it down. You know what I'm saying? Let's make those laws equal if that's really the case. You know what I'm saying? If it's really the case that it's easier to get a gun than a vote, y'all should have no problems. Let's make voting easier. You know what I'm saying? Because that just shows you how stupid that statement is. You know what I'm saying? You're ready for the background checks and the waiting period until your registration goes. You want to do same day voting. You know what I'm saying? It's so much harder to vote than to get a gun. You know what I'm saying? But it made me think further along those lines, right? And so I kind of just started like thinking about how I also broke it down in the last podcast about, and it's like how I hear the people talking today about how all of these people on the left talking about they're trying to take our right to vote. Our right to vote. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're trying to make laws to regulate shit. You know what I'm saying? And it reminds me of kind of the gun. It's almost exactly like the gun people saying they're trying to take our guns. They're trying to take our guns. Even though they just trying to make some laws to regulate this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's the exact same thing on the opposite side, bro. It's just insane. And it's insane how these people can't see this and how they kind of like act in the same whack way, on either side. You know, like on one side they acting whack, on the other side they so the victim, and it's both. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. And so, you know, I just kind of like made a couple notes to kind of like just kind of show and compare. You know what I'm saying? Like like you have a like as far as that taking away their right to vote. You know, I broke it down how just because they're like even if they would try to take away like you know, early voting or mail-in voting, you know, like your right to vote is just that, just the right to, you're not guaranteed the right to early voting. You're not guaranteed the right to drive-in voting, 24-hour voting, any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You guaranteed to be able to pull the lever. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the states after that. And it's the same thing with the guns, as far as, excuse the dogs, same thing with the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get the right to bear arms. You don't get the right to a tank. You don't get the right to, you know, rocket launchers and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And so like I just like wrote down like drive through voting. You know what I'm saying? That's like, or before we say that, let's just say you'll always have the right to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as you're in America, you're going to have that right to pull that lever. And as long as you're in America, you'll always have the right. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never coming for your pistol or your shotgun that you hunt with, or, you know, your hunting rifle. You know what I'm saying? A regular hunting rifle, not no AR-15 type of shit. You know what I'm saying? The basics. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what a right is, to protect the basics. You know what I'm saying? It's when you get all into this other fucking, all the other shit that you start to fight over. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not necessarily guaranteed that, like, you know, the right by the Constitution and all that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I kind of wrote down, like, how did I put that? The like drive through voting. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, you're thinking like, what is this drive through voting? That's kind of like a AR-15 type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So when you're arguing that, you know, like that's your right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where in the Constitution does it say that you guaranteed drive through voting? You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't. Just like it don't say anywhere is that you guaranteed the AR-15. You know what I'm saying? You guaranteed those basics. You're not guaranteed all that, you know, all the you know, like the stuff on steroids. You know what I'm saying? You're not guaranteed that. That's not a part of any of that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like more like the more crazy stuff to me, like the 24-hour voting and you know, like, or like universal mail-in voting and things that's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's more like I want a rocket launcher, or I want a tank. You know what I'm saying? Like who, you know, why are you mad if people's trying to curtail that? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, the only reason why you had a lot of that as far as the voting stuff was because COVID, because we were scared for our lives. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, bro. You know, all of that, bro. Like Mark Levin kind of had make a little point, and I guess I'm just kind of wrapping this up too, because I don't really know how much more I could say to that. You know, we're gonna get into the a little bit more the Jim Crow 2.0, all of that stuff, voting rights in a second. Levin kind of just made a little note that I thought was interesting, because like Joe Biden, he noted that Joe Biden is about, like, this upcoming week, I think he's about to spend like $10 trillion or up to $10 trillion, and when you count this infrastructure, the actual budget, all of these things that he listed that I can't just list off the top of my head, about $10 trillion, right? And so, you know, even if you just take the infrastructure bill, or one of the little a $4 trillion bill, or a $1.2 trillion bill, why wouldn't they, if voter ID is such an issue, you know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't they just put a couple, like, billion aside or something to make everybody an ID, and that way you don't have to worry if some people in rural areas don't have Kinkos or don't have access to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, why don't they just do that? And the answer, I think, is because they don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about that, you know? But that's it for that. You know, that's my little comparison of voter ID, no, like a voter laws to gun laws. Because like I said, though, Y'all want to go do that? Y'all want to make it the same? I know they don't, I know the Republicans would. I don't think the Democrats ever would. But I don't even know if that would be a bad idea, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've already been on record that I just think everybody should vote at the polls, and that we should have a month to do it, and nobody has an excuse not to do it. You have a whole month. You know what I'm saying? 7 days a week, regular business hours. You can make it sometime in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna keep crying about these things, I can't have water in line. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have less drop boxes. I'm not gonna have 24-hour voting. If that's what you're gonna keep calling Jim Crow and trying to rip up this country over that shit, I wouldn't even be against making gun laws and voting laws the same, bruh, because that's less ludicrous than that other shit, but that's it. But it's interesting that I said ludicrous shit, because bruh, like, since the last one that I just let's just say in the last week, I just started making a list of some of the stuff that I thought was so, like, insane that I just, I don't even know how much I want to talk about it. I just wanted to list them. You know what I'm saying? And maybe y'all will see. And the funny thing is, a lot of these things, y'all are not even going to think is ludicrous. Y'all are going to agree with. You know what I'm saying? But, I guess it's my show and I could talk about what I want. Holla at me if you think that I'm crazy. Y'all know I'm on Twitter, Lord Bishop, Mr. You know what I'm saying, on TikTok. The first one that I saw, bro, did y'all see General Milley? It was when somebody wrote a book. Of course, all of these people are writing the Trump books. They're starting, a book about January 11th. Well, this is what happened and all of this. And one of them had General Milley in it. And he talked about how he was worried that Donald Trump was going to, do a coup, however you say that. And how he had taken precautions. But then it's like the level that this dude took it, talking about how something about the gospel of the Führer and using all these Nazi terms and descriptions. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's never another like I said a bunch of times, bro, there's never another Holocaust until these motherfuckers start calling people Nazis, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, bro. Just the level that this dude was going with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Brown shirts, using all of these things, you know what I'm saying, for these few folks. I'm sure they were scared and everything, but like, for your general that's used to, and then he's the learned general. If y'all remember, he's the one that, went in front of Congress and talked about how woke he was and the books that he had his people reading, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like, general, maybe you're a little too learned or read, you know what I'm saying? Because your imagination is going crazy here. He reminded me of two things, bro, like that, the level that he was going. If you've ever seen Mars Attacks, that movie, it's a silly movie by, I can't remember the man's name. He did the Batmans, whatever, Mars Attacks. It was a silly movie, but in it had the stereotypical general that's always advising the president. And you know how most of the time it's the general that's always like, we gotta get him, we gotta, bomb him, you know what I'm saying? And it's always like he's trying to talk the president into doing the shit, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of the vibe that I got with the levels that this dude was talking about with all the Nazi imagery. And the other thing that I thought of with this guy, like all this stuff running through your head, you know what I'm saying? You ever saw American Beauty? Just a wonderful, excellent movie. I think it won Movie of the Year, the Academy Award. Just an awesome movie. Anyway, the dad of the dude that sold weed, that was in the military, that ended up having some gay, whatever, and he was a psycho, you know what I'm saying? But like the little dude who's trying to impress his little girl, and he's like, yeah, come see what my dad got, and he goes in the back, and ends up that the army man had like all kind of like Nazi, what you call them, like China and all of that, what you call that word of paraphernalia, memorabilia, kind of paraphernalia, like, you know what I'm saying, which just these things from this General Milley, bro. General Milley is somebody that I think we need to watch out for. Like I said, I know a lot of y'all probably looked at that and was like, yeah, that's our woke general. Listen to him. You know what I'm saying? But just me, bro. What else we got? the Joe Biden Jim Crow 2.0 big lie speech. I saw on Twitter how many people was eating that up like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, there's no excuse for that type of demagoguery, bro. Like, I mean, I've already said a million times how silly to me that this calling stuff Jim Crow 2.0 is. But it's really crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can understand that people on Twitter doing that. You know what I'm saying? Normal people, everyday people. I can't understand the leader of the nation that's supposed to be the leader for all of the people coming and doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is insane to me. You know what I'm saying? Like even and I say even Obama didn't do that type of shit. Obama really, I think, tried to be the president for all of the people, like, to his detriment from his side. I feel like he always gets killed because he didn't do enough from his side, like on Ferguson, on Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? He really didn't do that much, and he gets killed for that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that he really he might even think he might think, you know, you seeing that he might have had those thoughts back then. That's crazy, you know. As far as that, not voting, but, you know, like, this is some Jim Crow type of shit. But he would never come out and say that. You know what I'm saying? I hear the right talking about how he was like the divider in chief. I don't agree with that. I thought he purposely kind of held that down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his people would have wanted him to do this stuff that Joe Biden is doing now with all of that. And I don't feel like he did it. But this ain't about Biden. This is about Joe Biden. This ain't about Obama. This is about Joe Biden in this speech that he just made, which is insane, y'all. Like, oh my goodness. Like, all of the stuff he said in there. I'm not going to get into the details, like I said, because we probably got a lot, but that was another one, bro. Just insane. This one right here, bro. Have y'all ever heard of a leader asking the UN, inviting them to come in to see if you racist? Joe Biden did that. Did y'all hear that? Joe Biden asked the UN to come investigate the US for its racism. I can't imagine that. Like, that is just insane, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't understand why he was doing it. The only thing I can guess is that it was, you know, they're trying to do whatever they can to pass these voter laws. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he thinks that if the UN would come and say, you know what, you are racist, and then he could come here and be like, you see, they say we racist, we need to pass these laws. Why else would he do that? Can you imagine that? That is just insanity, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, listener, which side you on, but that is just crazy, bro. Another one, like, there's these, you know, all the trans stuff is going on, and there's a lot of insanity about that. But, like, you know, that's like, you know, all those people fighting in the streets, that's just normal insanity. You know what I'm saying? This one thing, bro, like, it's this thing about how, like, somebody wrote a book, of course, and it was like, they call it anti-trans, or, you know, just taking the other, you know, the side that a lot of those right people are. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's anti-trans. They just saying their position as far as they kind of not with it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I acknowledge that, you know, trans people can be trans people, bro. I just have a problem with the bathroom shit. That's it for me. You know what I'm saying? But, so they write that book, and like Amazon removed the book or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's whatever. And even, you know, I don't agree surely with that. That's censorship. And, you know, I'm about the battle of ideas. But it's this concept about, like, violence was done by that book to the trans people. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That shit is fucking insane. How all of these, like, and it's always like from the left, bro. I don't know if I ever hear the right people saying because you disagreed with them or you tried to, you know, was mad at their book or something, that it was violence against them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just, it's just insane. This is the insanity portion of the show, and I'm just pointing out things that you know what I'm saying, miss me with that violent. You know what I'm saying, bitch? We have a problem with violence in the streets as it is right now. Don't tell me that somebody wrote a book about something is violence. You know what I'm saying? I just had the most silliest thought that I shouldn't say out loud, but I'm gonna about to say. I just thought that would be like some racist saying that Kendi's book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, was really violence against them. I don't know how, I'm not high right now. I just had the thought live and I just thought I would say it. But the last note that I had on this insanity portion was all of the Biden censorship through Facebook stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the arguments that they're using, you know what I'm saying? That like what he said, and it's like they believe it, bruh. They're trying to tell us that, what was it, 12 people on the internet are responsible for 60% of the misinformation, bruh. They didn't say entities or what. They said 12 people is responsible for 60% of the misinformation on the internet. And I don't know if Putin was one of those. You know what I'm saying? I was guessing he was talking about Americans, bro. This shit is insane. And I got a lot more on this when we talk about that censorship. So I'm not even going to get to it. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. We can move it on to the next thing. And the next thing will be like, this is more about the just a little, y'all are gonna see, bro. Like it's funny how about the Jim Crow 2.0. Isn't it like, it's interesting how there can't be a Holocaust 2.0. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you try and make a comparison, you know what I'm saying, or one side tries to make a comparison, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they will come after you. You know what I'm saying? It can't be that. It can't be that. And I agree. You can't. That's dumb. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting to me how that can't be a thing, right? But Jim Crow 2.0 can be a thing. You understand what I'm saying? Like the Holocaust and everything was so gross and terrible and all of that you can't have that no more. But you can have a Jim Crow 2.0. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like by doing that, you lessen what Jim Crow really was, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? All of that yucky, nasty, you know what I'm saying? During that time was like Emmett Till and you know, the bean counters and the whites only bathrooms and counters and all of that, you know what I'm saying? And like, just to call it just that people are okay with it. Like, yeah, this is Jim Crow 2.0 now, bruh. Just to pass your little voter laws. It's just gross to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bruh. I don't know, bruh. And it's like, it reminded me of like I don't know if I said it on this one. Those recently they just had those like black legislators, like in Washington, senators and House people, I guess. They were like doing their protests, and it was right around the time where Joe gave his speech, bro. And they were walking through the halls all hand in hand singing "We Will Overcome" and all of this shit, bro. And it was just crazy to me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm thinking about that, and you know, you have like visions of like water hoses and dogs being sicked on people and police beating the shit out of people, you know what I'm saying? And you just got these senators just walking hand in hand down an empty hall, you know what I'm saying, with just cameras, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, maybe I should have put that on the insane part too, you know what I'm saying? Because come on, man, like, it lessens it so much, bro. Like, and I put, we shall overcome. How you gonna how you gonna overcrow? Let me do that again. We shall overcome. How you gonna overcome Jim Crow if you can't overcome getting a license? You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, bro. That's just, maybe I shouldn't be making light of that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's how silly it is to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna overcome Jim Crow if you can't overcome getting a license and you have every 2 years to do it? You know what I'm saying? We just had an election. You got 2 years to get a license. And the difficulty in getting that your license, if you live in the country, is Jim Crow 2.0, bro. What? You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness, bro. And then this is another one where kind of wrapping up the Jim Crow 2.0 portion. I had this thought, and bro, I hate talking about reparations all the time, and I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this. But I had a note, and it was a thought, and I was like, dude, I thought of another way, because I'd said that I could be in reparations. I could be in favor of reparations if black folk could kind of get with America. But listening back to it, I kind of felt like it was a bit condescending. Like, I didn't mean it like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's easy for me to say, white boy. You know what I'm saying? And it's whatever. But it was a thought I had. That's when I speak on these things. And I had another thought, and it's maybe another thing I shouldn't say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I thought of another way that I could support reparations. And if once you took that check, you couldn't cry racism no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not saying all racism, because I'm not under any illusions that that would change. In fact, reparation, like what I don't understand. Like I don't understand why people think that reparations would make things in any way better when it's clear. Like look at what happened with Juneteenth. You think would have been a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of looks like it made things worse. You know what I'm saying? So you give people reparations. Is it supposed to make it better? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But like I said, I could maybe be down with reparations if you couldn't cry racism no more for everything. And I'm not saying that. I'm talking about in a systematic way. Of course, you're still going to have like person to person racism and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that you can't cry all of these systems, every system and everything is trying to hold you down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's the reparations, like the BET man said, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at few $100,000. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like maybe that would, help in that way. You know what I'm saying? And obviously none of this is ever going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. I'm talking about, not reparations might happen. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about as far as, there's no way that I feel like, people would ever, like black folk would ever not, they would never agree to say that, the systems ain't racist ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, I don't think the systems could ever do enough to ever, that not be the case, Anyway, that's just me, bro. That's a thought I had when I said, just person to person hate that anybody could do, And I would also make the stipulation that person to person, systems can be racist, and that black folk, you acknowledge that black folk could be racist too, because that's the big, the big thing in CRT, because the black folk don't have the power in the systems that they can't be racist, which we're going to get to a lot, I promise, on the CRT portion of the show. But that's it for that Insanity Part 2 part of the show. We're going to move on to... this will be the Missinfo part. So this is pretty much what this episode is about. This is the biggest deal to me that's been going down. Like I said, bro, Joe Biden and them are making this big push about Missinfo is the reason why people ain't getting vaccinated, bro. And I feel like I can rip that all to shreds. And I feel like I'm about to do it. But let's just kind of slowly work our way into it. 12 people account for 60% of the misinformation. Like, they haven't released no names, you know what I'm saying? But, if it ain't like names that's as huge as like Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, you know what I'm saying? Then that's just really ludicrous. And like entities, you know what I'm saying? 12 people worth 60%. They've saying so many crazy things, you know what I'm saying? And then you got like Jen Psaki talking about how they think that if you I should have put that in the insanity part, that they think that if you get kicked off of one site, well, then maybe you should be kicked off of all the sites. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe not just Trump, anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are these people talking about? You know what I'm saying? And it was funny. Jen Psaki to me was she was having a tough time, and they, this is a tough thing that they doing right here, and yeah, people like more than Pete Ducey is gonna have questions about some of this shit, and there's few times where I always kind of feel bad for Jen Psaki. I don't have no love for her at all. It's obvious, you know what I'm saying? But the way that Biden takes no questions ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand he don't do it a lot, you know what I'm saying? But, and that's the press secretary's job, but to never come ever, even on these hard topics, you know what I'm saying? He'll give a speech, and then he'll throw Psaki out to the wolves every single day, bruh. Some of this shit is really tough, you know what I'm saying? And I do feel for Psaki, in some of those times, bruh. Like, what, it's funny how she's speaking for Joe all the time. Can Joe ever come speak for himself? Like, you worried about Missinfo, you know what I'm saying? And the man never comes out to speak for himself. You know what I'm saying? We always getting shit secondhand. He's worried about Missinfo. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, dude? But that's enough of me taking up for my sympathy for Psaki, bruh. Like, damn, do I have this? I don't even think I have this readily available, bro. So they talking about, let's see if I can kind of mumble while I try and find it. Did y'all see how, they talk about how it's the Missinfo, and then these people came and was like, did y'all kind of see what these, and it's right here. What kind of lovely shit is that? And they were like, well, actually, did you hear what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were saying before the election? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing. And we're going to get into all of this. Like, I have a big problem with Joe Biden and them. Like, all they doing as far as the unvaccinated, right? Solely blaming disinformation solely from right-wing sites, bruh. And so I get to thinking, right, before we get to this cut, that, like, I'm thinking, like, I was under them, like, it's not just white people that's not getting vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the biggest deal about how, like, black folk and Hispanics also, like, hesitancy. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, like, they never label, white people not getting it as hesitancy. It's like, it's MAGA, it's Trump, it's ignorance, it's all of these things. But when it's black folk, it's hesitancy. When it's Hispanic people, it's hesitancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, 400 years of slavery is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm thinking this out, and I'm like, well, bruh, let me look up. So I just Google, and I Google unvaccinated by race, and what I saw was like, it was like an official CDC kind of site, right? Like, I didn't get the name of it, but like, quote, I even clipped a quote, bruh, and it said, in particular, quote, in particular, black and Hispanic people have had persistently lower rates of vaccination compared to their white counterparts across most states. These lower vaccination rates leave black and Hispanic people at increased risk for infection, illness, and death, particularly as new variants like the Delta variant spread. So, folks, think that out, bruh. Biden and them are telling us that the reason people are not getting vaccinated is because of disinformation. And all of this disinformation is coming from crazy right-wing QAnon 70-year-old lady that just passed away that they was dancing on her grave sites. You know what I'm saying? But the people that's most not vaccinated are black folk and Hispanic folk. So what they telling us is that black folk and Hispanic folk are not getting vaccinated because they listening to the disinformation of the right. I feel like that's their argument right here. Does that pass the smell test to y'all? Because it does not for me. You know what I'm saying? Much like Psaki to her job. That shit stinks to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Where is the hole in my logic right there? Please tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that y'all sense that that's true, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that's just insane, bro. Like to me, I feel like I rip up that, and look how they playing it, bro. They're willing to kick all of these few people off of Facebook, You know what I'm saying? For their disinformation. What, you know what I'm saying? Like, what disinformation are the black folk and the Hispanic folk? Why are they not getting vaccinated? Because they ain't looking at them sites. They ain't watching Fox News and Newsmax. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, there's a bunch of reasons why people don't get vaccinated. And the way that the Biden administration is just scapegoating the right, it's wrong, bro. Like, I think that, I'm judging by this thing right here, I'm willing to bet that there are more Biden voters that are not vaccinated than Trump voters. Can you imagine, like, with the narrative as it is, if that was the case? Can you imagine that? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here to tell you that that's a fucking possibility, dog. Like, for real, But like, let's get to and talking about like, where did the blacks and Hispanics then get their misinformation? And then somebody came with that supercut, bruh, and what a supercut it was. Let's see if we could get it to the beginning here, and then let's break it down.
That is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us.
If and when the vaccine comes. It's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that are needed to be done. When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot? Who's going to take the shot?
You're going to give them the shot?
I'm not going to give them the shot. Put me, sign me up. They now say it's okay. And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency. You got to make all of it available to other experts across the nation so they can look and see. So there's consensus, this is a safe vaccine. If the president announced tomorrow we have a vaccine, would you take it? Only if it was completely transparent, that other experts in the country could look at it. Only if we knew all of what went into it. If Donald Trump can't give answers and his administration can't give answers to these three questions, the American people should not have confidence.
But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
And there you go, folks. Like, that's pretty damning to me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't even know, like, if they were even asked about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you consider that information, like, disinfo? You know what I'm saying? Because what they gonna say? What they gonna say? It was just like, and that's what, because that's what all their supporters, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they weren't talking about not trusting the vaccine. They were just talking about mistrust. They didn't trust Trump. You know what I'm saying? But bruh, damage is done. You calling doubt onto the vaccine. You're gonna say you doing that because of Trump. You know what I'm saying? But dude, y'all heard it. Y'all know that's the case, bruh. Like, and I'm not even saying that that's the reason why black folk and Hispanic are not. I think it's other issues. I don't think it's like an information issue at all. I think it's like some people is just against that. You know what I'm saying? Are not with it, or for whatever myriad of reasons that who even knows. You know what I'm saying? But just some crazy things, bruh. It was just interesting. Like, while we talking about all of this, and it's not really misinformation, but like they had on Twitter, COVIDiots was trending, you know what I'm saying? And it was all like the left. I forgot exactly why it was trending, exactly what got it to trend. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Probably because Biden and them doing this big push and trying to blame the Republicans for the people not getting vaccinated. And that was the same day that COVIDiots trended. Kamala had to go to the hospital because everybody thought she had COVID, which it turns out she didn't, and we're all glad she didn't. You know what I'm saying? But like, that was a day after she said she wouldn't quarantine after meeting with all of those Texas legislators that apparently caught it and been coughing all through the White House, just coughing that shit everywhere. All of these people catching the COVID off of these people, bruh, and it's just insane. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of how it goes. Like all the Republican people are the COVIDiots, and then you got all this other stuff going. You know what I'm saying? And I was waiting, bruh. Like I was waiting to see if Kamala was gonna have it, and they said she don't, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna believe it until I see her around some people. But sure enough, bro, she was there today with King Abdullah. I believe he's of Jordan, and she was right there by him, bro. So they must be pretty sure about that. I was thinking to myself though, because whenever it was in the middle of COVID, I had a scare where I thought I might have it. We went to a wedding. I rode with my parents in their car. You know what I'm saying? It was during the bad part of COVID when you shouldn't even been having a wedding. We went to a wedding with fucking a couple hundred people. And sure enough, like it was on a Saturday or maybe even a Sunday. It was a Saturday. And then the Monday when I'm at work, I get a call and it's my mom telling me that my dad tested positive for COVID. I'm like, oh my God. You know, I was at their table in their car. It was an hour drive to get there. You know what I'm saying? I'm at work amongst all these people, you know, and, sporadically wearing my mask at the time. You know, I'm like, oh my God, bruh. But, so I just left, right. I called my boss. I'm like, dog, told him the situation. He's like, just leave, go get one of those tests right now. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my concern, like, of course, I went and it was one of those 15-minute tests. And then they say, you don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, thank God. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. But then I asked the guy on the way out, I'm like, look, I just went to this wedding like 2 days ago. Like, you know, do I like not have it, or is it still a possibility that it's just not manifesting and you know, the test can't detect it yet? And the best the doctor could do, he just looked at me and he's like, look, man, right now it's saying you don't have it. He's like, if you get some symptoms or something, come back and we'll do another test. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I'm wondering if that could be the situation with Kamala, because the thing was, not only was she with the king, she didn't like have a mask on or anything, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Isn't it possible that she could like still have it and it's just not manifesting yet? She only talked to those Texas people 2 or 3 days ago. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see, you know what I'm saying? But that was just crazy, bro. Like, you know, just more kind of, you know, weird stuff about like not necessarily living by the rules that you're telling everybody to live by or whatever, you know. And look, I guess that's all I got. Kind of, I guess I should have. That was almost like more of a. I said it was about the Missinfo, and it kind of was, but I thought I would break down more of how like that Facebook thing, right? Like that is the most scariest thing to me. Like I'm here trying to talk on a microphone, even though hardly nobody listens. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this is what's important to me. It's like free speech, and the way that these people are just willing to step on it, just, you know, for their aims, is just one of the scariest things to me, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never voted Republican in my life, not once, for one person that I could ever think of. You know what I'm saying? That is a true story. And if they keep up this free speech, like that's my thing. You know, like all of these Republicans got like, you know, like pro-life, like people's one thing, or on the left, it might be like abortion. That's their one, like everything else don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, if they keep going on this free speech shit, bruh, man, could force my hand. You know what I'm saying? Force me to do something I ain't never done before, bruh. But, that's it, bruh. That's that. We're going to move on to the CRT portion of the show. And what do we have for the CRT portion of the show, which is actually the last part of the notes, bruh? Oh, and this is so interesting, bruh. Like, Mark Levin, he wrote his book, and it's his anti-CRT book. It's called American Marxism. I ain't read it or nothing, but I listened to Levin because I respect his mind. And like I said, bro, like I don't think the CRT people realize the movement that's mobilizing against them, and it's kind of being led, at least on that big front, by Mark Levin, bro. Like this dude is going through his book with people daily on his show, and like I said, bro, y'all remember the Tea Party? This is like that, but even worse. You know what I'm saying? And like I kind of sympathize with some of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say don't make the CRT the boogeyman, but it keeps coming. You know what I'm saying? And if I have to choose sides, I'm not really, as it is. You know, I'm not down with stuff I take issue with CRT because being a white man, I take issue with something that's going to teach that I'm a racist just inherently because of my whiteness. You know what I'm saying? That I'm just inherently going to have some racism, and that my parents are racist, and that my family and friends are racist. And not only that, but you want to teach my kid that I'm racist and that they're racist and that he's racist. You know what I'm saying? Inherently or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why I take issue with that. Like, I've already said it a bunch of times. If you could somehow teach racism and all of that without calling me a racist, maybe I could be down with it, but that's not the case right now. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. But so, me, I'm always looking for a compromise and solutions. I'm not, like Mark Levin and them. They sharpening their skills. They ready for battle. I think they want to like defeat CRT, which I don't know if they can, if that's possible, whatever. But I kind of take a more, I don't know what you call it, approach where. Like I've only called that dude one time and it didn't go well. Like, if you challenge him on a level that he feels challenged, he's going to try and shut you down. And that's kind of what he did to me. Like, I called him, like, cause they always fucking railing against communism. And I called him and I was like, bruh, you say that communism never worked, but who's the one people we worried about? You know what I'm saying? And like, he could tell where I was going and he didn't want to have none of that conversation in front of his people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to say, look, China, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the ones. They like, we're number one, they number two, they communists. How you going to say communists never worked? You know what I'm saying? And this was like, I was at work, but I was going to call this motherfucker and kind of talk to him about CRT, but it was more like I wasn't going to be... like what you call it, there was going to be no conflict. I wanted to ask him if he ever thought about, because like he wrote his book and he went through all the CRT thinkers. He studied all of that. He went back from Marx and all of that on down, all of these names that I don't even know. But like, to me, I've talked about how there are two lines of black thought on race, and there's the one that's taken over, that's caught fire, and it's Kendi, and it's Nicole Hannah-Jones in the 1619, and like I said, all of those people that they always talk about, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very, in your face, it's not moderate, you know what I'm saying? Like they bring it, you know what I'm saying? But there's this also, I've talked about it, it's the other line, and I always say the same names because it's the only three I know, but it's the ones that I've heard, you know what I'm saying? Like Coleman Hughes, Chloe Valdery, Thomas Chatterton Williams, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to ask Mark if he put those people in his book or thought about it or even heard of them or even knew that there was another line of black thought to racism. You know what I'm saying? Because even he points out that he'll say that he believes that not all black people think like that some of them think is bullshit, and I agree. But does he know that there's people, thought leaders that say that? You know what I'm saying? Because he never surely talks about them or mentioned them, you know what I'm saying? And the reason that I say that is because if you would present that as an alternative, you know what I'm saying? Like as it is now, what you gonna do, Mark? You're gonna fight CRT in this big battle, you know what I'm saying? And then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, CRT has set it up to where, like, what does that matter? You know what I'm saying? You could have the better arguments. You could have, you could beat them with logic and everything. And at the end, all they gotta say is what? That's his whiteness. That's his racism showing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if you have, like black folk on the other side, you know what I'm saying? Because take what's his name, Coleman Hughes, for example. Coleman Hughes is famously like a rival to Ibram X. Kendi, and not not in a big way, because Kendi won't have nothing. Kendi runs away from Coleman Hughes like a little bee. You know what I'm saying? Like Coleman Hughes has famously tried to, he says, I'll debate Kendi wherever. Like, let's do it. Set it up, somebody, please. You know what I'm saying? And Kendi don't want nothing to do with it, right? Because Kendi knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can a white person tell Kendi about racism? You know what I'm saying? What do you know, white man, about racism? How can you speak on that? What do you know? You know what I'm saying? But if it's Coleman Hughes, who's a black man, you know what I'm saying? Or Chloe Valdery, who's a black woman, you know what I'm saying? They got standing, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And I find this also good to have a solution. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just to say you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a better way. You know what I'm saying? And so, just that. And I really thought this out, bruh. Because, like, I thought about, like, how I would kind of say that. And I would kind of say it like that. And another way that I thought that I could make him understand it would be to say it kind of how, like, the Kendi, Nicole Hannah-Jones critical race theory line that's very popular and everything, right? That would be, to me, and black folk, maybe y'all could tell me that I'm stupid and I'm dumb for breaking it down like this. This is how me, white man who hasn't read none of the literature, sees it. Those folk, like the thing that's sweeping the nation right now, to me, that's like Malcolm. That's like Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like Malcolm, and the other people would be like MLK. I feel like everybody could kind of understand that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kind of knows the difference between how Malcolm is more militant, in your face, extreme about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to where Martin Luther King was more like the content of your character. You know what I'm saying? All of that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's totally, you know, explains how the difference between the two lines right there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's kind of, it gives me it's like, I hesitate to put it like that because I'm really not down with CRT at all, and at the same time I'm buying what a lot of Malcolm X is saying. But you kind of got to understand Malcolm X a little bit, to me. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm a Malcolm X scholar, right? But, you know, when you understand, like, it's almost like, to me, you could kind of see how, and maybe that's me thinking I shouldn't be afraid as much of CRT as it is, because if you understand Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? Like at first he was just a street, you know, he was a street dude and a criminal kind of, you know what I'm saying? And then he went to jail, but then he found religion, you know what I'm saying? But then what was that religion? It's almost like that religion is like CRT, because to me, CRT is in the line of like Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan, all of that type of thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Black Power and all of that. You're like, white man is evil type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that is. And Malcolm was all in that. And that's, you know, that's how I think most people understand it. But then when you understand Malcolm's journey, and then when he, you know, kind of saw a little bit of the bullshit in that, you know, in Elijah Muhammad and all of that, and he took his trip to Mecca and he started to become a changed man, you know, more spiritual. You know, he never to me came, you know, it was never the same as kind of like Martin Luther King. He was still suspect of the white man, but, you know, everybody knows that he was, you know, he was finding things. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man, if I could get assurances that CRT was gonna go in that path and find things, you know what I'm saying, and then maybe I could get with it, because like I said, in the end, I'm down for a lot of what Malcolm was selling, but I don't see it right now, and I'm not getting no assurances. You know what I'm saying? Things are going kind of bad. Anyway, bro. Oh, I was gonna say that was it, but while we on the CRT portion of the show, folks, some of the most interesting things like have been happening to me lately with my son. I have one son. His name is Marley. He's named after Bob. That's how I'm coming with it. You know what I'm saying? I think the world of Bob. I think Bob is one of the, you know, what Bob stood for was one of the greatest, you know, beings to walk the earth type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I named my son Marley. And so, you know, bro, we don't never talk about none of this shit, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, we keep it light in all of this. You know what I'm saying? I'll be goddamn if almost every single day this motherfucker don't call me a racist. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like in a serious thing. He's like, Dad, that's racist. Dad, that's racist. And it'll just be like, because I ain't gonna lie, like, I clown with him, bruh. And he's playing a video game all the time. Like, he'll be playing like this game called like Yakuza, and it's like about like the Japanese mafia, Yakuza, you know what I'm saying, or Yakuza, whatever you want to call it. And so like it's all kind of like in Japanese, and they got like the words and everything where you can read it. Well, bro, I'm just listening to it. I'm not even paying attention, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to sound like those guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you got it, like, okay. And I'm trying to imitate the sound, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like ching chong in it type of racist type of thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to see if I can do what he's doing with the sounds of my mouth, you know what I'm saying? And he'll just like, Dad, that's racist, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But this dude's always trying to tell me that I'm racist, and I'm wondering where is he getting this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they not teaching it in school, they teaching it somewheres, bruh, because he's not getting it from me. He's not listening to my podcast, but this motherfucker is here telling me I'm a fucking racist all the time. So Kendi and all of these people, they're gonna need to explain that to me. You know what I'm saying? Where, because I don't think those, I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't think he's clicking on those videos on the YouTube, but maybe he's fucking, you know, maybe he's Carl Sagan right here, the head of his time. I don't know. I'm not guessing that either. You know what I'm saying? And the other, that's just a weird thing, bro. Like, you know, please explain that to me. And the other thing, bro, that happened the other day, and it cracked me up. It made my wife feel weird. We was at the casino. It was the weekend of the Dustin Poirier fight, and we eating at this restaurant, and we just sitting there, and this dude just breaks out like something about how he saw this commercial or something, this ad on his iPad, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, Dad, it was weird. It was talking about how like the black farmers have it so bad, and they like they don't have no money or something. And then he's like, and all white people are bad. And I was like, what? And then he's like, I'm lying, I just made that up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, just think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the fact that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my little dude's 12, bruh. 12. Like, going to the, what is it, 7th grade. Come on, man. Like, that shit is, where are these kids getting this, bruh? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they getting it from somewhere. They getting it from somewhere, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all acting like nobody's learning this shit at all, and he is getting it from somewhere, bruh. But that's it, bruh. That's all I got on the notes. I did start some stuff on the Twitter, so we're gonna try and keep it together. I didn't really like breaking it up, so we're gonna see how that goes. You know, I didn't like the last one. I didn't like none of those at all, really. I didn't really think they came out good, but now I'm rambling like I told myself I wouldn't do. I'm gonna see y'all on the Twitter streets. Punkers politicians. All right, we back on the Twitter streets this time, and you know, it's gonna be in support of the it's all gonna be together this time. But let's just go do what we usually do on the Twitter streets, which is kind of cut up, you know. This first one is a tweet by T-Bird, and it says, it was Biden, Harris, Pelosi, Schumer, etc. that said publicly they wouldn't take Trump's vaccine because they didn't trust him. Of course, they backtracked after Biden won and immediately got vaccinated, but their initial comments instilled fear in millions, which I totally agree with that. I just put true story, bro. It's kind of hard to disagree with that. I guess the first one's going to be like that. And actually the second tweet that I had was that supercut, which we already played, so I'm not going to play it. That showed all of the comments that Joe and Kamala made leading up to, you know, when they was running against Trump, you know what I'm saying? And vaccine was baddie, you know, very damning to me, all of that, bruh. And of course, you know, their side ain't got nothing for that, nothing but excuses and everything. But you know, if you're talking about Missinfo, bruh, like that's like receipts right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, bruh. It just goes to show you how that shit ain't about none of that. It's about, you know, partisan politics, you know. And then my next tweet, I was gonna try and keep it more political, but I did put a few of them that went on, and this one I just want to brag, bro. I put ooh-wee, ticket secured, is going down. Hashtag Chappelle, hashtag Rogan, hashtag Nola, because that's where me and my wife are going, and be jealous, bruh, because y'all should be. I don't know if they got no more tickets, but we gonna be there. Holla. Third time seeing Chappelle, first time seeing Rogan in person. Me and her both, that's how we love the stand-up comedians. Next tweet was me responding to my girl Joy-Ann Reid. And bruh, Joy-Ann Reid has the most craziest, like, her takes are terrible. Her takes are terrible, and it's why her ratings are historically bad. And it's so funny, like somebody said that they ain't never gonna be able to fire her. You know what I'm saying? Like, she took the place of Chris Matthews, who was like a rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like none of them dudes at the end, and Chris Matthews was calling us brown shirts because we were voting for Bernie. So fuck that dude. You know what I'm saying? But to have Joy Reid come take his place is just hilarious to me. Anyway, let me get to her tweet that said, yes. All they need in their poor, fragile little hearts is, quote, respect. Respect for their inability to lose a damn election with dignity and without feeling the need to burn the entire country to the ground and Jen Jones themselves to death with COVID. Of course, I took issue with the burn themselves to the ground. Them burn themselves to the ground? What do y'all think of when y'all think of shit burning during the past year or two? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think MAGAs was the people burning shit? You know what I'm saying? Like the mostly peaceful with the shit burning in the background. You know what I'm saying? For these people to say these things, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you talk about Missinfo going down and stuff, bruh. Like, give me a break. And I ain't even gonna qualify that at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I put to her tweet. Wait, burn the entire country to the ground? Who? What? The fuck? You know? And I even clipped a picture of that famous Chiron, which we'll have on the visual part on the Twitter streets. You know, fiery but mostly peaceful protests after police shooting, bruh. What you know? Insanity. It's going around, y'all. This right here was so interesting. It was somebody that tweeted, it's actually a Steve Bannon meme, but what the meme said is unbelievable, kind of, even in relation to what Joy Reid was saying, because, you like interesting coming from Steve Bannon, you know what I'm saying? Cause you think Steve Bannon, you think Trump, you know what I'm saying? And this was a quote from Steve Bannon, and it said, "I'm a Leninist. Lenin wanted to destroy the state, and that's my goal too. I want to bring everything crashing down and destroy all of today's establishment." Ooh, that's like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that's all about. And I just put interesting quote right there. If we ever meet Steve, we bringing this up. Like, what did you mean right there, guy? And are you still there? You know what I'm saying? Election Wizard tweeted, oh my God, did y'all see this, folks? I don't like to play too many clips just because of how I got to do it straight off my phone. But this one right here is so great that we got to play it. And what it is that guy Brian Stelter on CNN, who's just a fucking terrible, like, potato head man. You know what I'm saying? And the worst thing is, it's like he's the media watchdog over there. You know what I'm saying? So he has this guy on who wrote an anti-Trump book. And I don't know if y'all heard this exchange, but this is one of the greatest exchanges that I've heard on like an interview like this, besides for like Mike Tyson with that one guy that one time that called him a rat piece of shit to his face on live TV. But bruh, y'all listen to this shit right here, bruh. Unfreaking believable right here, bruh.
Trump does, he has spent most of his administration seeing
That's the
people on
guess.
television and immediately calling them.
But maybe that's how it works sometimes,
I don't want you to think...
Is that how it works? That's how you get access?
But I don't... Yeah, but I don't want you to think that what I said at that point was in any way inauthentic. I think the media has done a terrible job on this. I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become
Y'all
part
should
of
see
one of the
his
parts of the
face.
problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So what should I do differently, Michael?
Don't talk so much. Listen more.
I won't play too much of it, but
people-
it kind of went on in that line, and that was just greatness right there. That guy just telling that dude off to his face, kind of, you know what I'm saying, and not really even, in a matter of fact way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always just, you always picture like if you was be on a show like like that. That's how I would want to. That's how I want to bring it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That was just a fucking beautiful thing, bro. And the funny thing is, like Brian Stelter is like the fact checker guy too. Like he's always fact checking. You know what I'm saying? And some guy, the guy that posted that, like he posted that clip and he was like, and he quoted the man, like, most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry. That's what the guy said. And then under that, he put, fact check true. Like that was the funniest thing, bro, because like Stelter's always saying that, like, fact check true. They're busting that. That's it, bro. Like that is just phenomenal right there. The next one is Daily Wire, who has been getting attacked lately. And the reason why they're getting attacked, folks, is because they are getting so big. And I've said it before, but I even went and looked for the tweet and I couldn't find it. I called it like a year ago or something. Ben Shapiro will be, and it's like, now that Rush Limbaugh is gone, right? You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Rush. Ben Shapiro one day will be the biggest man in the news media. And like, I don't even think people can stop it no more. You know what I'm saying? You can hate it or whatever. And you got to admire how they doing it, bro. They doing it on their own, on the side. They building their own infrastructure, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They branching off into entertainment, and that's why I'm saying it. It's not just the news. They going for shows. They going for, newsrooms and, podcasts. They doing it all, bro. But whatever. I'm going to get off their dick right now. Kamala Harris visits Walter Reed for the routine appointment days after meeting COVID positive Texas Democrats. You know what I'm saying? And I just put, I hope she don't have it, but if she do, and I put the clown emoji, because that would be clown stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just the day before they announced how she wasn't gonna quarantine. You know what I'm saying? And then this goes down. And they calling it, quote, routine appointment, and she went in on a Sunday, dog, for a routine appointment. You know what I'm saying? And that's the White House putting that out. You know what I'm saying? They coming to us, telling us how, their whole thing is misinformation. You know what I'm saying? All of these people giving us the misinformation. They got their lists and everything. And then they come out with a statement talking about Kamala Harris is going to the hospital on a Sunday for a routine appointment days after meeting with COVID positive people, bruh. There you go. Right there, bruh. It totally summed up in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? Their bullshit hypocrisy. Anyway, next one is Jewish deplorable. Breaking: Kamala Harris is at Walter Reed. Same thing, they all do that. And then it says, White House says it's just a routine appointment. There you go, right there, bruh. And look, I put it right here, bruh. Understand, if she had the COVID right there, then number one, that would have been the White House straight lying to us, which would have been the proof of them lying to us. They already were lying to us about the routine shit going in on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And then, and I put two, that lies exactly the kind of blatant disinformation they deplatforming people for. Boom, bruh. Frank Luntz, the crazy psycho man, always hooking people up to his machines to read their thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Here's a thread from around Election Day of prominent Democrats casting baseless suspicions on the COVID vaccine. If Trump had won the election, this is the interesting point about this tweet, and I think it's true, but not to, to a certain extent. If Trump had won the election, we'd likely be looking at the same political opposition to the vaccine, but with the parties reversed. You know what I'm saying? And listener, I think you gotta admit that that's kind of the case, bro. If Trump was the president, you heard Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in their own words talking about, if Trump tells me to take it, I ain't taking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then not only that, people have pointed out the phenomenons like in other countries. I believe it's that way in England where, Boris Johnson is of the right. So the people that most oppose the vaccine are of the left over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or it's more to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see how anybody could argue that wouldn't be the case. I mean, you could argue it, but I just don't think you're right, And I thought about it. I don't know if I agree totally, but the death count that stopped being, and that's the other thing, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just look how, like, every single death that happened under Trump, they counted it as, on Trump. Trump's responsible for all these deaths. But those same people won't blame Joe Biden for one death. Not one. Not one death is on Joe. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it goes, bro. I think that's just proving Frank Luntz's point. The next one is respectfully Justin. I didn't know who this is, but apparently this dude is a big deal. And this is a little Kanye tweet. Apparently Kanye is releasing a new album, or they hyping it. He's having a release party sometime this week, and it was just funny because they was doing these tweets you can tell they trying to start the hype. And this dude was like, Kanye had Kevin Durant at 7 feet tall dancing while the album was playing. Shit was crazy. Okay, I'm really out this time. And he had all these other tweets about how he's like, I'm here to tell y'all, this is Kanye, like old Kanye, like he's broke and he's hungry and he's ready to take over. Take it from me. You know what I'm saying? And like, to all of that, I'm because his name is respectfully Justin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just playing Twitter stuff, but I'm also trying to make my little point. Respectfully, Kanye pulls you aside, plays you his unreleased album. What are the odds you tell him it ain't crazy if you don't think it's crazy? Respectfully. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kanye pulls you and is like, yo, dog, got this new album. Come tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? And all these people like, yeah, bro, it's the baddest shit. It's the baddest shit. You can't. Who is going to say, you know what I'm saying? Kanye let you hear this shit before everybody else. Who's going to come and say, you know what, bro? That shit was just meh. You know what I'm saying, bro? Ain't nobody gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And in parentheses to all that respectfully shit that I just put, I put like all the people did for his last 2 to 3 albums. Because, I mean, bro, if we keeping it real, bro, when was the last just insane album that Kanye put out, bro? To me, is the one with Yeezy, bruh. Yeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like just iconic Yeezy album, bruh, with the blood on the ground or whatever it was, and all of them sounds and sonic, that was just next level artistry. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, he sunk into with Kim Kardashian, and he did like that one album where it was like I believe that was the one where it was like the bleach on my asshole type of shit. And then like it had some real good songs, but then it had some, and then after that he did all the Jesus shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? Who's telling Kanye that, your shit's just mad, bruh? Like, you know what I'm saying? As a former rapper, artist type of thing, I'm always down to hear the good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Kanye can bring it. And especially for Kanye's sake, bruh, because he be having issues with like his mind sometimes, and then these women be putting him through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like for Kanye, I hope that shit slaps for real. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see. And I'm gonna preview it, and I'm gonna give you my honest opinion too. The next one is Ibramex Kende. According to recent Reuters blah 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 poll, 73% of adults, including 9 in 10 Democrats and 6 in 10 Republicans, support teaching high school students about slavery and racism. For real journalists, voices matter, but facts do too. And he's taking a shot at Megyn Kelly, who was basically, she kind of talked about Kendi and Nicole Hannah-Jones in a tweet. You know what I'm saying? So he says that, basically saying the polls are saying 6 in 10 Republicans support teaching high school students about slavery and racism. And I'd put, which, I don't know if I believe with that, you know what I'm saying? And even if they do think that's so, you know what I'm saying? I think that if you connect either CRT or Ibram X. Kendi to that in the poll, then support drops precipitously, at least amongst Republicans. You know what I'm saying? But to the tweet, what I put was, judging the racism of the founders by today's standards is dishonest, and real historians, which Ibram X. Kendi is, should understand this. And I've talked about it all the time, how you can't use today's standards to judge the racism of the past. A bunch of times I'm about to do a TikTok about how Carl Sagan, we talked about it in the last podcast, which I didn't like at all, about they showed him on Johnny Carson, and he's like, what is this? It's 78 or 79 probably, and he's saying how it's amazing to him how everybody in space is white, how everybody looks like him. He's like, especially the people that run the galaxy. It's fucking fire, dog. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm saying, like, everybody's like, look at what Sagan was saying way back in, at that time. You know what I'm saying? Dude, we're not even talking 50 years, or like what, right at 50 years ago, maybe, 40, 50 years ago, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And Sagan's like a freak for saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like a prophet almost, you know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers, these historians, you know what I'm saying, are the ones that are saying that George Washington back in 1776 should have been thinking like Carl Sagan, almost a prophet, was in 1970, bruh. It's fucking stupid, bruh. And it's just dishonest. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, to get to the goal that they want, they just, it's all means necessary, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a lot of what CRT is. You know what I'm saying? It's all means necessary. Next one. Oh, it's the same tweet by Kendi. And look, I actually agree with Kendi, except it doesn't have to be his and Nicole Hannah-Jones extremist views. Oh, because when I say I agree with Kendi, I mean that that racism and slavery should be taught in schools. I think they are taught in schools, but listen to what I have to say. I actually agree with Kendi, except it doesn't have to be his or Nicole Hannah-Jones's extremist views. It's time we start pushing for the Hughes Valerie Williams school of black thought on racism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's teach it, but let's teach the more moderate, because I'm being very general with it, but I don't even know, I haven't read a lot of Hughes and them either, but I've listened to some podcasts that they are on, and I follow them on Twitter, so I know a little bit what they about, bruh. And what they about is not hating America. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they agree that all the systems are racist. And what they really disagree with is black victimhood as the central to your, like being everything you're about, and like how you have no capacity to lift yourself out because the white systems are holding you down and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's more what these people are about, Brad. And I think that, especially after what the CRT is trying to say, I feel like that would have a wide reception if people would only move in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Teach about racism and how the Kendi line of thought is racism. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Mark Flambone tweeted, it was just a kind of cute little tweet. There was no CRT in my school growing up, and I had no idea slavery or racism even existed in the United States, and that it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Not bad, Mark. Next one is Melanin Queen. Wow, it's really telling how certain people are so proud of America, but dead set against teaching about the history. I guess they're not so proud of how we became America. Interesting. And I put, If folks wouldn't act like history is the exact same as today, things might be different. Hashtag Jim Crow 2.0. And, it's a lot of, a lot of people, I think we're going to get to some man who blocked me again, because sometimes I'll be commenting on people like this, but I give props to this Melanin Queen. She actually liked one of my other tweets where I wasn't just tweeting, I was just responding to this other man. Because it's funny, bro. Y'all hear me talking about all of this, the way that I'm coming, like as far as CRT and everything, but what y'all might not see is like at the same time, I'm battling this man in his comments who's trying to say that systematic racism in America isn't a thing. You know what I'm saying? And this girl, Melanin Queen, saw what I was saying and liked my thing. You know what I'm saying? Which, I guess we could go off on a little tangent real quick. I think that's like right here. Where was that? Let me prove to y'all that that I'm not just all one way. You know what I'm saying? Where's she at? This man right here. Here's one right here. It wasn't what she did, but he's trying to say, the man's trying to say, there's no proof. Give me proof that there is systematic racism, and here it is. This is the one she favorited. I'll put the ratio, because I always say it, bro. I could prove systematic racism in one tweet or in a minute if you let me talk. And what I put is the ratio of blacks to whites in jail for drug offenses compared with similar rates of usage and selling. Whites do slightly more drugs and sell slightly less. And black folks make up way, 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 way more of the drug arrests. You know what I'm saying? And she favorited that. And I continue to go on. Not only that, but whites make up 60% of the population. Blacks make up 13%. There's your systematic racism right there. And this asshole started writing essays to try and talk against that. And you can't talk against that. That is irrefutable. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. Ben Shapiro, and I just fire quoted whatever he said here. I enjoy the establishment media accusing Daily Wire of using outrage as a business model after spending years building their subscriptions by selling rabid, hysterical outrage over everything Trump related. So true. So much that they're still printing Trump stories for the clicks. No doubt about it. That's because most of them, that's all they got. You know what I'm saying? Shapiro gets the point right there, but I don't care what the fuck y'all say. Next was PH. What a great name. PhD's nuts. Oh, Brad, this was such a cute little tweet. This person tweeted, I think he was a Republican legislator. And he puts, under Joe Biden, enough fentanyl to kill 238 million Americans was seized at the southern border last month. Where's the outrage in the media? Which is there supposed to be outrage? Or maybe I guess that's because of it might have been the immigrants bringing it in. Maybe I don't understand. But PhD's nuts answered that and said, that's 2 teaspoons of fentanyl, and it was seized. Because I don't know if y'all know, fentanyl is so powerful, just like a drop is almost deadly. That shit is just fire right there by PhD's nuts. I see why why he got his 2nd degree. What we got, bruh? Quanta tweeted, about Tulsi Gabbard, who tweeted this. What did she tweet about? I'm not even sure what she tweeted about, but Quanta tweeted, has someone hacked this account? This isn't Tulsi that I've been following for the last year. And what did she say? I'm trying to remember, bruh. Will it show? Will Twitter? It says it has been deleted, so that's just great. And I put, it does seem sus, bruh. I don't get what she was trying to gain, but what you're gonna do? Hopefully somebody else got it, right? What did Tulsi say? Man, we're not going to get it. If it comes to me, I'm going to say it, bruh. Because it was something like she came. Oh, it was about Bezos, bruh. She came out just something about yeah, you're going to go up there, stay up there, or something like that. Just out the blue. Damn, Tulsi. What the fuck? But yeah, it just didn't seem like her to just come out and do that. And then this person, Zachariah Phillips, tweeted, Tulsi Gabbard and Rand Paul are two prime examples of politicians who I like despite being an anarchist. And I'm famously online and saying I don't like no politicians. Fuck them all. Now even Bernie, bro. I ain't really got too much for Bernie no more, but like I hate Bernie less than all of the other ones for sure. You know, and I still I don't dislike either. I should have put hate either, I guess, too much. But they being politicians, they're two of the ones that I hate lesser than the other ones, Tulsi and Rand. I like those free thinkers, man. I guess a little bit more of those just establishment shield hack people, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, Eric Hunter Biden fan, ooh, wow, said, Democrats, be honest, would you vote for Kamala Harris for president? And I'll put this crazy. She beats Trump, but DeSantis, basically the same dude with a different name, fucks her up. No question. And I feel like that is guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the man's point. Like Kamala, she ain't got it, bro. She's terrible. Like she's just not good at it, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the polls are just bearing that out. They know they in trouble. I asked why they not doing the 25th for Joe when they could have Kamala right there. Check more of the boxes, bring her in. She's more sane. I'd feel more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Even how terrible she is, at least she in her right mind, But why they not doing it, bro? Because they know that she's not good and they're in trouble. They know it, bro. I wouldn't be surprised. I guess you can't really trade. You could trade, but I don't see him doing it. But bro, I feel like not just DeSantis, bro, almost any Republican, I feel beats Kamala. That's how bad she is. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all of the issues and stuff going around, kind of, trending to the Republican side as far as I see it. You know what I'm saying? Femme Honnête, I don't even know what that means. It looks French or something. We are accused. Oh, it's kind of like some trans stuff. We are accused of, I guess it might be anti-trans. We are accused of literal violence against men for saying a woman is an adult human female. Now watch all of them tell us the actual death threats towards J.K. Rowling and others are just words. We are accused of literal violence against men for saying a woman. Oh, and that's kind of what I was saying as far as the insanity about that book being violence against, the trans people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's true. Like, you speak against them and they consider it violence. You know what I'm saying? But J.K. Rowling spoke her piece. You know what I'm saying? Got death threats, and they will never call that violence. You know what I'm saying? Death threats. Just crazy how them double standards work. We talk about that a lot, man. What we got? It's more about the J.K. Rowling's thing. Aaron boycotting Arkansas businesses tweeted a reminder that J.K. Rowling has transphobia trending because she had some anon Twitter threats. Meanwhile, transphobes are actually stabbing. This is kind of the exact opposite of the tweet we just read. Meanwhile, transphobes are actually stabbing trans people and people they think are trans in California because of a made-up incident. Now, the tweet is the opposite, but I don't agree with this tweet at all. Number one, because I feel like it's the pro, I don't know about the stabbing thing. I'm not exactly sure what she's talking about, but as far as those protests outside that spa, bruh, it's the Antifa and the people on the trans side that was being the violent people. You know what I'm saying? It was the people in the Jesus church just holding up their signs, just protesting that, were the non-violent ones as far as I saw it, bro. Like, for the most part, unless they were seriously provoked. You know what I'm saying? But from what I put to that, that shit outside the spot didn't look made up. And that's the other thing, bro. I have a real problem with this made up shit because this is just something that they all came up with. And I looked it up, bro. And the person that broke that story was in some, I believe, magazine that caters towards the trans people. And it's a trans activist that wrote it. But regardless of all that, maybe it is, maybe it wasn't, bruh. Just think that out, bruh. Like, they have not released the name. They know who that the allegedly naked person was, the trans woman that they say was not, never happened. They know who it is, but they won't release the name of that person. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? They could squash all of this, all of it, just by releasing the name of that person. You know that person, if they're a trans person, you know what I'm saying, and they out and they walking through bathrooms and living their best life, you know what I'm saying? You know they got that in a social, you know, in their bios and everything, and they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? As simple as that. They could squash everything, and they don't want to do it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? No doubt about it, bruh. No doubt about it. Shams. Oh, this one's just another silly one, bruh. And we'll have the picture on the visual, and it's just like a meme that has a picture of Jeff Bezos and a picture of Dr. Evil. You know what I'm saying? And it's got Jeff Bezos and his dong looking rocket. What is up with that? Why does the rocket look like a dong? And then another picture of this mountain with Dr. Evil sucking on his pinky. You know what I'm saying? Dude, they really do look almost exactly alike, bruh. Crazy. Rob Filipkowski tweeted, "The pandemic of the unvaccinated rages on. Trump supporter, QAnon adherent, and leader of United Cape Cod Patriots just died of COVID. She frequently posted vaccine conspiracies on Facebooks. Not anymore. People were dancing on this lady's grave, bruh. It was gross." And I already said my thing about the misinformation and how maybe it's not all them right-wing psychs and MAGA people that's most to blame for all of that. You know what I'm saying? To the tweet I put. So I'm thinking this, and basically I'll go through the argument again, you know, thinking it through. It's all about misinfo from the right. So I Googled unvaccinated by race, and what pops up? Quote, "In particular, blacks and Hispanic people have persistently lower rates of vaccination compared to their white counterparts across most states." So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the logic there is undeniable, bruh. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do? And I just continue with it. Now think it out. Where are most of those people, for the most part, getting their info? Right-wing sites? You know what I'm saying? Black and Hispanic people, they getting their info mostly from right-wing sites? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? And then I put, now think about how the Biden administration is playing this. And then, like, I was kind of talking to Jen Psaki, because she was asking for evidence when somebody confronted her in that. And she was like, do you have evidence that, you know, whatever? Because they actually, somebody asked her a good question. They were like, you know, y'all are worried about all of this disinformation and all of this. You know what I'm saying? Would y'all ever think about maybe giving Trump some credit for the vaccine and showing all of those people that don't want to get all those MAGAs that don't want to get vaccinated, that's doubting the, you know what I'm saying? Bring Trump on, or at least give him some credit to where maybe it'll convince them to. And she just was like, well, do you have any evidence that that's the reason they're not getting vaccinated, bitch? You know what I'm saying? I just gave you my evidence and logic, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? And there's no way she could have an answer to that. And then I put it would be quite something if most of the unvaccinated are Biden voters. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the lens they're going through too, with Facebook and all of that. It would be something, bruh. Axios, blue check. Oh, Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to the White House, and Tom poked fun at Donald Trump, who's you know, supposed to be his boy and everything. This is why Tom's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Because like, that's the one chink in Tom's armor right there. That's the one thing they got him for and they hate him for, is that he had the Trump hat in his locker, and he's, you know, friends with Trump. And he goes to the White House and he just makes a joke at Trump's expense, talking about like, you know, he's like, most people didn't think we were going to win, and 40% of the people still don't think we won. You know what I'm saying? It was a good joke, bro. And that just shows you why Tom's the fucking GOAT, bro. Because even if they had some people on his team that, you know, I only been knowing this dude for a year, I don't know about this dude, he comes and he just does that. You know what I'm saying? He's the fucking GOAT, dude. You know, and then I have another one that was a joke. Y'all will see it on the Twitter. It's from Footballism. It says the only way to stop Tom Brady from getting another ring, and it shows him in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, dog. Fucking hilarious. And then this last one, while we're on Tom Brady, bruh, is from ESPN Blue Check. Tom Brady really played all of the last season and won a Super Bowl with a torn ACL, bruh. And I put stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. And I put it in another tweet. Bruh, you don't fuck with karma like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, number one, I don't believe it. And number two, you know what I'm saying? Like, you are just jinxing the motherfucking shit out of this, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do they want this dude to get hurt next year or something, bruh? Like, what? Who does that? Like, what are you trying to prove, bruh? He won it. He won. Like, it won't get more impressive. Like, I guess they're trying to make it more impressive, bitch. It's already good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. We understand. You know, he's the GOAT. You don't even need to make it any better. Like, you know. Now we get into Dr. Fauci, which I didn't talk about Dr. Fauci at all on the notes, but I knew I was going to have a lot of tweets, bruh. And Dr. Fauci was having a tough time, bruh. And Dr. Fauci looks rough, bruh. Like, look at this one. Fauci ain't having Rand Paul this morning. And it was a totally team sport thing, bro. You had your Fauci people cheerleading him, go team, and then you had the people on his ass. You know what I'm saying? But for this one, I'll put Dr. Fauci looks like he's aged 10 years since that lab leak stuff broke, bro. Like, because to me, it was always amazing to me how Fauci looked like like he just looks so, like, I believe he's almost 80, bruh. He looks so young, and he was always like wearing the makeup and just looks so young. And like, bruh, in this like little hearing right here, this dude looked rough, bruh. Like, he looked like he been through it, bruh. Ooh, I ain't never seen him like that. That's just me, bruh. Chip Franklin, who I believe he runs Really American, which is one of the grifter groups that does the political porn videos, tweeted, this was so funny, because clearly they're left to the max. All they do is run their little Trump propaganda videos, and he put, retweet if you trust Dr. Fauci more than Rand Paul. So clearly Chip Franklin and his 225,000 followers lean left. You know what I'm saying? And yet, what was it? The retweets and the likes, there was like 9,000 likes and 7,000 retweets. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. Like, it was, to me, it was I don't know if I'm reading that right now. I thought it was like a close thing. Maybe I read that wrong. I was taking it as far as like there was 9,000 on one side, 7,000 on the other. Maybe that's not the case. Anyway, I hate all of them dudes, and it don't even matter. Everybody who saw that shit knows that Fauci was getting rolled, bruh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my goodness, we gonna see. I got way more on Fauci. Aaron Rupar, Fauci still isn't done with Rand Paul. Quote, this is a pattern that Senator Paul has been doing now at multiple hearings based on no reality. Rand Paul had some reality today, bruh. Like, he had papers and everything. And like, I don't know, bruh. Unless you are the most partisan of people, it was hard to deny, bruh. And like, for this one, I put the body language is bad for Fauci here, bruh. He was fidgeting so much, and like his facial expressions, he was pained and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, he was so nervous. Like, you ain't never seen Fauci like this, bruh. I promise you, it was crazy, bruh. Philip Lewis, blue check. I guess we might be moving on from Fauci. I thought we had way more than that. He's a blue check guy. He says the Texas Senate has passed a bill to eliminate a requirement that public schools teach the Ku Klux Klan is, quote, morally wrong. That same bill drops studying Martin Luther King Jr. I Have a Dream speech as a curriculum requirement. And I put something about Texas. Texas really, they go too far, bro. Texas goes too far. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, they do. Like, what is that, bro? Like, this is just like the Trump thing where, like, I'm saying, like, Republicans have like a whole wave of things going their way right now, bro. Like, you see the Democrats backing off on like voter ID and defund the police and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly it's because the people ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? And then CRT too, bro. Like, all of these things working against them, and then Trump's just gonna come and allow all the Democrats to just focus on Trump. You know what I'm saying? Take the momentum away. You know what I'm saying? And Texas kind of did the same thing with here, bruh. I feel like, y'all passed the CRT laws. Y'all got y'all passed your voter laws. Y'all got all the momentum going. And then y'all go pass some fucking just extremist crazy shit like this, bruh. Like the Ku Klux Klan is not moral, that is not morally wrong or whatever. And, dropping the MLK, like at this time, dropping the MLK speech, bro, like just too far, bro. It's to the detriment of all, even your side, right? Like, I don't know if y'all acknowledge it or not, but this is just, it's just silly, bro. I don't know. Galactically stupid is what I put on the Twitter machine. The next one is Glory tweeted about Kamala and His Majesty King Abdullah. They meet with VP Harris for a working breakfast this morning at the vice president's home. And sure enough, bruh, it shows all three of them, the king, his son, and Kamala, just standing there taking their pictures. None of them got masks, all like shoulder to shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And my tweet to this was, in a world where His Majesty King Abdullah II tests positive for COVID after this. You know what I'm saying? Like days later, the whole story about how I was worried that like me in a couple, like my like I really had it, but my systems weren't, like it was too soon to take the test. That's basically what I was worried about. Like this, I had been exposed to it just 2 days earlier. You know what I'm saying? And they say like it could be up to 10 to 14 days. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see how the White House or Kamala could be so certain after exposure that, you know what I'm saying? And so confident that they weren't going to pass it on that they would not even do the mask thing. You know what I'm saying? Wow, bruh. That's just crazy to me. And it's not responsible at all. Ali Oop tweeted, I know there's a lot of jokes about the Trump supporting unvaccinated conspiracy theorist Linda Zern dying from COVID, 7-year-old lady. Instead, let's continue to encourage all Americans to get vaccinated, not laugh at a human life that's been taken by this virus. Let's be better than that. And I love that tweet, alley-oop. That is greatness right there. And that to me is how it's played. Unfortunately, most people wasn't taking that advice and was dancing on that old lady's grave, bruh. And I did another one that I guess I didn't star it. But you know how on the screen you can see 3 or 4 tweets at a time, bruh. And it was just spanned. Like they had Alley-oop was on there with her take, and then under it they had like this fucking person just being really ugly about it, and then they had like another one that was kind of saying, well, but I don't really care, and I just put like who wore it better. You know what I'm saying? And clearly it was Alley-oop. You know what I'm saying? Because bro, there was some ugliness going around. Just for I can even understand if it was like a Trump or a Jared Kushner, and they be coming like, yeah, you died, yeah, you got what you deserve, motherfucker. But this was some 7-year-old lady that I had never heard of. Everybody acting like they intimately familiar with this lady. But whatever, bro. And look, for the next one, her name is Linda Zern, an unvaccinated Trump supporter who spreads coronavirus theories, died of COVID-19. See you later, sucker. Shit like that, bro. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? And then I just quoted that part. In particular, Black and Hispanic people have had persistently lower rates of vaccination compared to their white counterparts across most states. But Trump supporter Linda Zern's Facebook posts. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's whatever, bro. They just doing the narrative thing, just doing the propaganda. And basically, like another thing to a similar tweet I put, I think there were more unvaccinated Biden than unvaccinated Trump. You know what I'm saying? And then I put the little Charles Barkley, we are going to start a conversation meme. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we'll ever know that for sure, but we talked about the Popeyes nuggets, like a little commercial for Popeyes here. I think we're nearing the end. Like it came today, like the Popeyes nuggets came today, and I actually didn't get it. I'm gonna get them tomorrow though. I promise. I'm gonna let y'all know. But like everybody was clowning because Popeyes. Like you saw it with the chicken sandwich, bro. Like they get something new and it gets crazy, and then they got all these memes, and it's like it's like a Popeyes worker getting taken out in a stretcher. Like it's a real picture. I guess it happened. Something happened to this lady, and she's like on a stretcher getting wheeled out of Popeyes, and it just says Popeyes employees 3 hours into the shift when the new chicken nuggets release. You know that's true, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I love me some Popeyes. Adolf Twittler Slayer. Adolf Twittler Slayer. I guess she's trying to be cute with the name. Rand Paul is looking for, quote, gain of function after Fauci whooped his ass. Oh my God. That's the team sport thing. And it's funny, this one right here. I did it because all I did was post a meme, and it's Go Team. It's Will Ferrell and that girl when they were the cheerleaders on Saturday Night Live. If y'all saw it, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And that's all I did. I put that on top of that lady's tweet and and moved it on. You know what I'm saying? Well, later you get a mention, and that lady liked that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I did put the eye rolls. I put the eye roll emojis, and then I put that, and that lady liked it. And so then I was wondering, I wonder if she liked that out of sarcasm or if she just didn't get it. But I mean, her name is Adolf Twittler Slayer, so I'm thinking she didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Next one is molecularly impossible Poso. Oh, that's Jack Posebic. This dude always changing his name, bro. It was confusing. He always got different avies to this dude. What he put? Rand Paul. Are you sure your gain of function experiments in Wuhan didn't have anything to do with this? Fauci. I called Wuhan and they said nope. Case closed. That's basically what Fauci did. Like, that is pretty accurate right there. You know what I'm saying? And I just put, she said so. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing I said when we were talking about Putin and how, Putin comes and was like, you think Putin is the biggest murder, he's a big murdering, asshole, liar, you know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, until he says something kind about Joe Biden, and it's like, you see what Putin says about Joe Biden? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gonna believe him now, though. Let's believe him now this one time because he says something nice about you. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Joseph Mercola tweeted, wow, Fauci is cracking. NIH-funded gain-of-function research. That is absolute. And pretty much it's true, bruh. I don't know how, he's not even trying to deny that, because NIH is what he heads. That's his place. He's not even trying to deny that they funded the research. All he's trying to argue is that the research wasn't gain of function, which, bruh, gain of function, all that is making, taking a virus and kind of making it not what it was, making it more powerful, kind of making it a weapon. But some people do it just to make it stronger, to study it, as far as, just for studying it. You know what I'm saying? And there's no doubt that that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was for a weapon or if they were just studying it, but there's no doubt that they took those viruses and made them stronger. You know what I'm saying? You get into semantics when people are like, it came from a bat, it didn't come from a lab. Well, bitch, it might have came from a bat and it was studied in the lab. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. What we got? Jake Lobin. Gain of function is what eventually happens to Rand Paul about 3 hours after getting fucking humiliated by Dr. Fauci. And I just put, this is the best they got, bruh. They happier that a 70-year-old lady died of COVID than they are mad that Fauci might have helped fund it. You know what I'm saying? And that pretty much sums it up, bro. It sums up the team sports thing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, and that's where we at today. And I just and this one, basically the same thing, but it's all stuff about Fauci, and they put Dr. Rand Paul just took Fauci for a walk. And if you heard Rand Paul, he started his conversation with saying, you realize that lying to Congress carries a 7-year prison sentence or something like that, maximum sentence of that. You know what I'm saying? And dude, for this, I put what's horrible is that they could actually send a 7-year-old man to prison for this. They would. You know what I'm saying? And I really do think they would, especially, especially how it's going, and all of these people are hunting Trump and trying to arrest anybody that's associated with Trump that they can, in hopes that they flip to try and get Trump. You don't think that the Republicans would, if they could, try and put Fauci in jail? And to me, I've already said it a bunch of times, like, as far as when it comes to for COVID issues, I would never put none of these people in jail, no matter what. And y'all know what I think about, Fauci. Y'all know what I think about Trump. Y'all know what I think about Cuomo. Like, I ain't really think none of them did good like during this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think any of them did good. But I really do think that most, they did what they thought was best. Like, we didn't know. We never knew. You know what I'm saying? Y'all acting like we knew. You know what I'm saying? We knew nothing. It was a novel virus. All of these people were doing their best. Some of them did wrong. Some of them did tragically wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I still wouldn't put none of these people in jail for none of this, bruh. They was doing their best. Who are we to fucking tell these people that were on the front lines making the decisions? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? And I had a guy that commented to me saying, fuck that, I want my revenge. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that too. I understand that feeling and that emotion. I just don't roll. Like, I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bruh. Like, it's funny how this, so many people in this society are like so against jails, and the jails are too full, and they so quick to be ready to throw any motherfucker in jail for anything, bruh. I don't know. Is that what we got anything else? I'm gonna say that's it, bruh. That's good. Let's end it right there, but like, that's good. We are true. It's 2 hours, so it is what it is. But there we go, bruh. That's the latest episode, and hopefully it's way better than the last one, because I wasn't impressed with the last one at all, bruh. So we're gonna see how that goes, and see y'all next time. Punk is politicians.